Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced. This is game 3 of the Esports World Cup and we already know how much Magnus appreciated Nihal Sarin's speed. And in this, we have a matchup between Magnus Carlsen and Nihal Sarin, and this is game 3. Magnus is up by a point. We have the score of zero point 0.5 to 1.5, and Nihal Sarin either has to draw to go to game 4 or actually win this game. And in this, he's with the black pieces, so he would appreciate a draw, and then with the white pieces in game 4, try to actually beat him. So let's see what happens in this game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. And here with the white pieces, Magnus starts with d4. We have d5 by Nihal, c4, e6, and just knight to f3. We have knight to d7, c captures, e captures, going for the queen's gambit decline. We have knight to c3, c6. We have bishop to f4, and here just going for knight to b6. And we have e3, bishop to f5, h3, just not lying that bishop pushes. And we have this bishop to d6, but now here just going to capture it early on. Queen captures. We have knight to h4 attacking the bishop. Bishop moves back, and an immediate knight captures, edge captures, and here just opening this file very nicely. And we have this bishop to d3, but now just going for this knight to f6, and we have queen to c2, and now very nicely castling on the queen side, both players. And we have king to b8, a nice prophylactic move, always king to b1 by Magnus, and just rook to d2 e8. Magnus would love to appreciate a draw, and here being up by 1 point, even if he goes to the game, he knows that even in the with the black pieces he might be able to secure the draw in the game 4. So he's not that much worried. But here Nihal has to be worried, and the nerves that you have to win the game in the game 3 or draw the game to force game 4, and that too you're playing against 5 times world champion, one of the best players in the world. It's just unwavering. And here h4, but now just going for knight to g4, just trying and going for that. For the moment it's being protected by the queen, and we have g3, but now just here queen to e7, and we have rook to c1, but just queen to f6, just trying to put some extra pressure here. But now just going for queen to e2. You cannot capture here because knight would fall, and if you capture here, just this rook comes in, so you're going to be a piece down. So you have to be careful about those things, because even after that, this capture does not come with a check because king is not here, so you cannot play that. So here just queen to e6, now just keeping an eye on that knight, and here just queen to f3, and here knight to f6, we have rook to c2, and just king to e8. Instead of this king to e8, you could also go for this knight to e4, just immediately striking there. And here after rook to c1, you play knight captures, rook captures, and after queen to f6, you play this queen captures. And here after g captures, you play b4, and here after just a6, now you're going to see that black is most likely, after this move comes in the future, you're most likely going to see that black is going to remove the knight, and both players are going to have a great game. But here after rook to c2, just king to a8, and here after rook to c1, now going for knight to e4. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but you'll understand what I mean with what happens thereafter. We have queen to d1, but here just f5, just cementing that knight there on the e4 square. And we have this a4, just trying to push that pawn all the way to try and create and try and force Nihal to do some mistakes with the black pieces, because that's what happens when Magnus plays with you. It's just an effect that's called Magnus effect, and that always happens with players. The nerves take over, and when you're trying with the black pieces to try and get a draw or to try and get a win, and those things just overtake you. And here knight to d7, but here just going for a5. And in this position, if you play a move, here knight caps on c3 was played, and after rook captures, if you play a move like knight to b8, I know seems like a very annoying move and very backwards move, but here once a5 comes, you don't capture anything, but now you just push. And here after queen to b3, you'll be fine. After rook to e7, and the queen jumps in, here most likely what's going to happen is black is going to try and push on the king side, and here slowly but surely you're going to get those rooks. Your king side is going to be safe. There's going to be no issues whatsoever. The position is a completely drawn one. But here in this position, he thought that the position is completely winning, and there is going to be position is completely drawn, so there's going to be no more issues. But in this position, for some reason, Nihal went for a6, and it just completely blunders the game. And I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try and figure out the only move in this position which completely wins for Magnus while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is this spectacular bishop caps on a6, and Magnus plays it in an instant. We have b captures, but now just going for this rook captures. We have queen to e4 check, king moves, and now just going for this rook to b8, knight to b8, but it's just a bit too late for going for this knight to b8, because here in this position, Magnus goes for this spectacular rook to c7, and it was on this move, on just move 30, that Nihal Sarin resigned the game, and Magnus got a spectacular victory, and he's moving into the finals. My apologies, he's moving into the semi-finals now, and he's going to be most likely playing Hikaru Nakamura, who has won against Levon Aronian. So it's going to be very much difficult. And here you can see why he resigned, because queen to b3 is coming, and there is no way that you can defend the queen to b7 checkmate. To give you an instant, you're going to have to sacrifice the knight, and you don't even have to take that queen to a4. But here, just after knight to e5, now you play this rook 1 to c6, and here, just trying to infiltrate with the queen, we get d captures, just capturing that knight. We have rook to b8, queen to d4, and queen to b3 check. But here, just king moves, we have queen caps on b2. You have to play this because there is going to be mate here. So here, just going for this, queen captures, rook captures, king captures, and here you get this position where white is completely a rook up and in a completely winning position. It's just going to be over. And Nihal realized this, and he realized his mistake. He just went and resigned, and here Magnus is there in the semifinals facing Hikaru. If Nihal had not pushed that with those, a6 move, he might had a chance in game 4, but unfortunately for the prodigy, it's not going to happen. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to this channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you.